Hi everyone, Miss Bianchi here. Today we are going to be working on multiplying fractions. So our learning target is I can multiply fractions. Fractions are really important. We will actually use them a lot in our life, especially with things like cooking. So basic skills that we actually do use. Our very first step when we multiply fractions is we want everything into a fraction. We don't want any mixed numbers. And then if we can, we would like to simplify first, which is called cross-canceling. So looking at these two fractions, and I see my little multiplication symbol here, I see that step one is already done for me because they're both in fraction form. I don't have a mixed number. Okay, so that means I don't have a whole number in front of these fractions. So now my next step is to simplify first, cross-cancel. And in big, bold writing here, you see that we never simplify horizontally. So that's why you see the arrows going back and forth. So I'm going to look at my numerator and my numerator 6 and then my denominator of 9. And this is the way I'm cross-canceling. So when I'm thinking about cross-canceling, I want to think of the biggest number that goes into both 6 and 9. And I know the biggest number that goes into 6 and 9 is 3. 3 goes into 6 twice, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. So the 6 becomes a 2, and the 9 becomes a 3. So I have simplified those two. So now I need to look at my 20 and my 5 and simplify that way. My biggest number that goes into 5 and 20 is 5. 5 goes into 5 one time, and 5 goes into 20 4 times. Okay, so now I am left with 2 over 4 times 1 over 3. And my very last step is to just multiply straight across. So I do 2 times 1, which is 2. And then I do 4 times 3, which is 12. Now, there's really a hidden step in this that I want you guys to write down, and that would be to simplify your fraction or your answer. Because I'm looking at 2 over 12, and I know that this is not in simplest form because they're both even numbers, and I know that 2 goes into 12. So I'm going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2 over 2. Remember, 2 over 2 is really 1, right? So we can simplify it because this is a form of 1. Whenever you multiply or divide something by 1, it retains its identity. Okay, that's why I can do this. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. So my answer is 1 over 6. Okay, you can go ahead and turn the page. And as always, feel free to pause whenever. Okay. Still working on multiplying fractions. Now we just have a little bit of ones that are a little bit harder, okay? So I have 32 over 48 times 36 over 24, okay? Now again, I cross cancel, so I'm gonna look at my numerator 32 and my denominator of 24. And I know that they both have a number that goes into I know that they both have a number that goes into both of them, right? And that number is 8. Okay, you want the biggest number possible. That way you don't have to simplify at the end, even though you might have to, but it limits your chances. So I know that 8 goes into 24 3 times, and 8 goes into 32 4 times. Okay, now looking at 36 and 48. I know my biggest number is 12. So that means 36, 12 goes into 36 3 times, and 12 goes into 48 4 times. Now, you could have done 6 here too, because 6 goes into 36 and 6 goes into 48, but it wouldn't be simplified. So if you did that, that would have been fine, but you would have been having to simplify at the end even more, and that's just more work. So now that I have crossed canceled, I can just multiply straight across. So actually, I'm going to rewrite my fraction. So I have 4 over 4 times 3 over 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 divided by 12, or 12 over 12, is 1. So that is my answer. All right, the next one. I have 3 and 4/7 times 7 over 10. Now, our very first step that we were told was that we have to make any mixed numbers improper fractions. So I have 3 and 4/7. So in order to make that an improper fraction, I look at my denominator, which is 7, and I multiply it by the whole number. So 7 times 3 is 21. And then I add the numerator, which is 4. So 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. And then I put it over what my denominator was, so the 7. And then my 7 over 10 is just going to come down because I did my first step. Okay, so now I can cross cancel. So I'm looking at my 25 and my 10, and I know that they both have a 5 that goes into it. So I know 5 goes into 25 5 times, and 5 goes into 10 2 times. Okay, now I am looking at my 7s, and 7 and 7 are the same number. 7 goes into 7 one time, 7 goes into 7 one time. Now I'm going to rewrite. So I have 5 over 1 times 1 over 2, and I can multiply straight across. So 5 times 1 is 5, 1 times 2 is 2. So my answer is 5 over 2. Okay. My next one is 2 and 1/7. Again, I am going to change this mixed number into an improper fraction. So 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. So I have 15 over 7, and that 14 comes down. Now, any whole number is technically over 1 because 14 divided by 1 is still 14, so it maintains its identity. So now I'm going to cross cancel. 15 and 1, that's already good because 1 is as simple as it gets. 7 and 14. I know that 7 goes into 7 one time and 7 goes into 14 2 times. And now I'm going to rewrite my fraction. I have 15 over 1 times 2 over 1. 15 times 2 is 30. 1 times 1 is 1. And 30 over 1 is the same thing as 30. All right. Let's keep working. I have 8 over 15 times 3 over 10. Looking at my 8 and my 10, I know that they both share a 2. Oh, I did not mean to write a 2 there. They both share a 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times, so that's what you need to write there. And then 2 goes into 10 5 times. Looking at 3 and 15, I know that 3 goes into 15 5 times, and 3 goes into 3 once. Multiply straight across. I have 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 5 is 25. And this cannot be simplified any further. 8 over 9 times 24 over 11. Looking at 8 and 11, I know that that will not be able to cross cancel because 11 is a prime number. Nothing else goes into it. And then 9 and 24. I know that 9 and 24 share a 3. So 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 3 goes into 24 8 times. So now I can multiply straight across. 8 times 8 is 64. 3 times 11 is 33. And this actually cannot be simplified, so that is my answer. My next one is 2 and 2/5 times 1 over 4. Again, this needs to be changed into an improper fraction. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, and that is over 5. And then that is times 1 over 4. Now I can cross cancel. I know that 4 goes into 12 3 times, and 4 goes into 4 1 time. 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 1 is 5. So my answer is 3/5. And my very last one, oh, this one's fun. I'm going to first make this an improper fraction. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So that is 5 over 2 times 7 over 10 times 3 over 7. Now, there are a couple different ways you can do this problem. I'm going to look at the first two fractions and see if I can cross cancel there. And I see that I can with 5 and 10 because I know that 5 goes into 5 one time and 5 goes into 10 two times. Now, I can't do anything. Oh, this is over 3. That should be 5 over 3, not 5 over 2. Okay, now 3 and 7 can't cross cancel, so I'm going to move on to the next set. So I have 7 and 7, which I know can. 7 and 7 will just simplify into 1 because 7 goes into 7 one time, 7 goes into 7 one time. Now, even though he's all the way over here, these will also cancel each other out. 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 3 one time. So now I can multiply straight across. So I have 1 over 1 times 1 over 2 times 1 over 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So my answer is 1/2. And that is it.